$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. To my right, Hebrew, Master Covenant, breaker 7 seals. Let's get right to it, brothers and sisters. Those of you that look for knowledge, here's some right here. Farrakhan speaking. If you believe in science, mathematics, he's telling you he's not original. He's the seed of his father. Biology tells you the seed comes from the male. The seed is alive. The egg is not. The egg is just material that the seed used to bring itself into existence, develop itself. So when you are the seed of your father. Your father is so are you. He reveals his father is white, Caucasian, Portuguese Jew. His own words. There's the link. I also include the link in the description. It's also included in the description. So you can check it out. That's his own words. Could not possibly be the seed of Abraham. Could not possibly be the Messiah. The Messiah comes from the root of David. David comes from Abraham. Own words. So you can believe what he says. That's the link. And the link is in the description. Come on, brothers and sisters. There's his father, Percival Clark. Mark tells you the name, Louis Eugene Grounds. Turn the NOI back was exactly what said Aaron would do. That's who he is. He going to tell you, Grounds, no. Grounds is his mother's maiden name. She's not married to Walcott. But that's, research it. I mean, you have to go, you shouldn't have to go that far. In fact, he says his father's a white Portuguese Jew. Caucasian, that should be enough there, but anyway. Then they say, oh, well, he was appointed by God. That's not what Exodus says. Exodus says no. First of all, he says he got angry at Elijah. He's asking for him. So he's got angry with him. And on top of that, he says, he's not teaching my teachings. Let's go ahead and look at it real quick. This way it's the Exodus. He says, go down there. He says, they have corrupt themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. That's Exodus says, so you're going to believe in God? You believe Farrakhan. And Elijah said, look what he done. Look what he done to the nation of Islam. Made him ashamed and left stock to enemies. So you believe them? My doggy Farrakhan. My doggy. This man's a good doggy. Here he is. Trying to keep, I don't want to leave here. I love it here. We ain't going nowhere. Totally against God's message. Mine says we leave here and return home at 40 years. We ain't going nowhere. See? Lightning is about to strike, brothers and sisters. From the east, even to the west. Muhammad's about to be revealed, and he's going to bear witness to the message of the covenant. That's going to happen. All this stuff about there's treaties and all that kind of stuff. Peace not breaking out there. There won't be a peace. They may want it, but it's not going to be. We wish for it. It's not going to happen. Oh no. Oh no, he's here. My time is up. Oh no. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's talk about this shit show that went on today. Eyes love. It says they like to quote scriptures they like, but they don't call all the scriptures. One big shit show, brothers and sisters. That's the most difficult part of my mission. I gotta listen to that shit. That's what it is. Shit, I'm calling what it is. It's my mission to separate this chaff from the wheat, even from the saints. Let's help the saints out. That's their hidden enemy. It's confusing them. It says Elijah wasn't mission to do that. It said mission to come here to do it. Plenty of critique. Now, if you remember the last part, if you listen to the last part of his crap today, oh, we got to love ourselves. You don't understand what that means. You understand what that means? See, because the way it tells you right here, that's bad. People will be love themselves, loves of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving. See, without love, that's the key word there, without love. How can they be love themselves without love? That means they have no love for their people. They only got love for themselves. That's what he's telling them. We got to stop loving ourselves. Well, who's yourself? You're part of a nation. You're part of a body. You're a cell of a body. So if the heart says, I'm just going to love myself, the whole body dies. It has to love the whole body, serve the whole body. The whole body has to love it. See, that's how they stupid. Ishmael is one of the most ignorant, stupid people I've ever in my life. That boy is totally stupid. He would not be able to get a job in Walmart licking toilets. If he said he'd do it for free, they wouldn't want him in there because the boy is stupid. But that's why Farrakhan keeps him there, because he know that fool knows if he wasn't kissing Farrakhan's ass, his head firmly shoved Farrakhan's ass, he would not be able to get that position any place. He would not have that house, would not have that car, have any of that stuff. He'd be worse than homeless. Because he don't want shit, nobody would hire him to do anything. He couldn't make a job for himself. He's there as bait. Say, oh, see, he's Elijah's son. But so was Wallace. The boy is totally ignorant. Everything he said is bullshit. Oh, God's unconditional love. You know what unconditional love means? That's the shit they teach in the Christianity church. Unconditional means there's no condition on his love. So why in the hell are you going to throw your ass in jail? I mean, in hell. Is that love? No matter what you do, unconditional means no matter what you do, he's going to love you. So how in the hell is throwing you in hell eternity love for you? How is that? And the other thing is, all that's bullshit. Like, has some Negro butt. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to be nice, really. Somebody, well, America's not really Christian. They're not really a Christian nation because America's a Christian nation. They've been practicing Christianity for 500 years. This is what Christianity is. What's Christianity? Enslaving people for, it says right in there, you're Ham, you're supposed to be slave forever. So they say we was Ham. Isn't that Christianity? Isn't that what Jesus told them? Did Jesus told them? I love Jacob, I hate Esau. Where's love in that? I mean, hate and love mean the same thing? And then, nothing adds. That's why they don't want you to think mathematically, because if you think mathematically, this shit doesn't add up. And your brain, right? Your brain is designed to act, if it's less sick or cancerous, is to act logically. But of course, you got to have information, but you got to put it in the calculator. So your mind is information out there, but most of you don't put in your calculator. So you just accept it like it is. You put in calculators, it has to make sense, it has to add up. They give you bad information, well, they tell you, well, 2 plus 2 is 27 or 22. So. But you don't know, you don't have an alternative. You don't know how to add and subtract. So you accept that. See? But what the brain will do is that when somebody comes along and say, well, 2 plus 2 is 4, and that opposed to 2 plus 2 is 22, look at 2, and now you got something to compare it again because you now got additional data. Well, that one makes sense, this one don't. And then you start, see, that's the restlessness come in. Because our people, they're starting to calculate, but they got bad data. And so it's bad data against the angel, which is correct data in every sense. So when they hear that and they compare the two, all of a sudden, this goes out, that goes out. Eventually, right, all of it goes out. All of a sudden, you reject the whole thing as resonance. Keep on going, eventually, you put enough pressure. But that's why it says they come together immediately and shrink them out. That resonance building up. They said, damn, that cats can fly. Oh, really, man? So you accept that. Then you see a cat being attacked by a dog. You say, hey, yeah, anyway, you ain't worried because that cat, he's gonna take off, flying. Then you see the cat don't fly. So what happened? How come he didn't fly? He's something wrong with his wings. You see? Because he accepted the first because you didn't know. But then when still with a situation, it don't fit. Then you say, okay, you start questioning it. Something wrong with that. That's one of the reasons why Farrakhan, none of these people ever do Q&A, ever. Elijah Muhammad always did Q&A. After he's taught, he would open up and let people ask some questions. They never do, because you can shoot them down right away. You can blow them away right away. They can't answer, because you say something, then you get questions right away. They see. But let's get back to see God and unconditional love. But see, the thing is, God made everything perfect. That's what he said, right? God's perfect. Where everything perfect, where did imperfection come from? Where did Satan come from? Where did evil come from? If he made everything perfect. I mean, this whole his creation, right? Nothing came to exist without his creation. So if Satan exists, he created Satan. If evil exists, he created it. So what? He didn't create. He gave you freedom of decision. Well, the point is that your freedom of decision was created by him too, wasn't it? So if you make a bad decision, it's still his fault. If he gave it right, I can make this. You see what I'm saying? And that shit don't make no sense. So God made you, put you in his situation, his creation, which is all corrupt and messed up, that he made. So he put you in it and tell you, you got about 1,000 religions, right? Says only 4 or 5, says only 3. And you got to find out which one is the right one. Otherwise, I'm burning your ass up. And when you find out, you better do it right. Or I'm going to burn your ass up. Never. What the hell is that? That's the shit they telling you. So, wait a minute, hey, hold on, God, wait a minute. You created me. I don't give a damn. You're defective. So I'm going to burn your ass up forever. But you created me. Well, that's why you're defective. How does that shit make any sense? That's Christianity. That shit they've been selling you. And they put fear in you. So you're all intelligent exes. You're bleeding that cross because you're full of fear. You're going to hell. God made you. See? So if you're defective, whose fault is that? Yours? You didn't ask to come here. Say, hey, God, please bring me in here. You didn't ask to come here. You didn't come here with full cloaked mind and full thought. You didn't come, somebody told you stuff. They may have told you wrong. Or what if you was born Hindu? You never heard Christianity. So now it's your fault because you, God, remember, God made you in the womb. So why did he make you a Hindu? See, this shit doesn't add up. Because it's all shit. God ain't made nobody. God ain't gave you no fucking eyes. You don't stop this shit. You got from DNA, your mother and father. God ain't gave you a goddamn thing. Nothing. Nothing. You got from your mother and father. They don't determine how long you live and how when you die. That's bullshit. Elijah Muhammad told you that. He said the scientists live as long as they want to. When they get tired, they live a life they know has into it. See, what he's saying has nothing to do with what Elijah Muhammad taught. There's no God that, oh, God made, well, okay, well, who is the God? Oh, Master Muhammad is the God. Oh, so he's my daddy? He's in everybody's room making babies? No, when he ain't around. He's very busy, ain't he? Everybody's room making babies. Or if he ain't doing it, who's the God that's doing it? Oh, there ain't no mystery God. Well, who's the God in everybody's room making babies? And plus, damn, he got to be a fool. So, ain't two women can be pregnant at the same time, right? Because he got to be in both places at the same time. How's he doing it? He waits till the man go to the bathroom, he jump on real quick, like he's flash bang. How does that work? It's all bullshit. So, oh, America is a Christian nation. America is definitely a Christian nation. Because all this shit is Christian. That Jesus, he cursed you to be a slave forever and ever and ever. Where'd that come from? Come from the Bible, their Bible. Where did Jesus come from? The name didn't exist 500 years ago. Who took this land? Who raped the people? Who did all that kind of stuff? False Israel over there. America is 1,000 times worse. It was all Christians doing that. We're cross-running that. Christianity didn't exist before 500 years ago. It's all bullshit. And that shit he said, none of that should add up. None of it adds up. All that crap he said, none of it adds up. Not any of it. None of it adds up. None of it. God's love. Really? I love Jacob, but I hate Esau. Oh, where's love in that? Did he make both of them? They was identical twins. So he made one, he didn't make the other? So if you want to believe that shit, believe it. That's Farrakhan teacher, because he's a Christian himself. He says he's a Christian. He's a demon. That shit they made up to keep you from thinking. Because if you start thinking, they have a problem. All that stuff he said, none of it makes any sense. We got to love one another. Yeah. That's true. We're brothers and sisters. They don't say about loving some other nation. They love their own people. I'm not going item by item. The whole thing was shit sell. That's why I can sell shit, and he puts honey label on it. Put Elijah's name on it. Now, Muhammad never taught this kind of bullshit. Never taught anything like it. I was with Elijah from 70 to 75. Farrakhan's a liar. He's a coward. They own him. He knows. They told him. Was that COINTEL, I think they call it, right? I think I got it right that time. You go look at it. He gave every point. It's no debate. Just look at it. He gave every point. Stop teaching race hatred. Okay, devils ain't devils anymore. Stop teaching separation. We ain't going nowhere. Stop teaching independent. Oh, no economic programs, and no what he have, but he don't do anything. He gets the money. Now science, make it a religious organization. Okay, Scientology and Sunnism. He get every damn point they ask for. They say either that or they're going to destroy the nation. Is it still there? Now the original nation ain't, but it's still there. So that means he must have gave him everything he wanted. They said it was either one or other. They were going to destroy it totally, or change it, change the direction. So is that hard to understand? Unless they stopped, they gave up. So if they didn't give up and they accomplished what they said they were going to do, that means they said that was the whole thing. Find somebody they could turn around. They said they had a whole bunch of people already. Deletion. That means they don't want you to know who the names are. That Christianity is all about teaching you love, teaching you forgiveness, because they know if you do rise, they want you to forgive everything they've done to us. God doesn't teach that. He says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I will repay. He said judgment. He don't say anything about forgiving you for all that shit you did to us. They're going to punish you for it. But Farrakhan, remember, he's what he's doing. He's trying to stand for his people. You know, like I said, my wife was over there with them for about 6 months to see what they were doing. I wasn't following Farrakhan. Went over there, went to their meetings. And Clayton came one time about when it says in chapter 18, do double them as done to you, do double. And he said, hey, no, we can't do that. We shouldn't do that. God said do it. I said, no, we shouldn't do that. No, because he's a devil. He said his own words. Look at that link I gave you. His father's the devil. That means he's a devil. Oh, no, he made me in the womb. It don't matter. He's supposed to be the light of the world, right? The Messiah gets home, right? But when the light goes out, and you go turn them on, God told me to shut up. We've been paying the light bill for 40-some years, and now when darkness comes and we go turn the light on, the light don't come on, you know, well, God told me to keep the light off. What the hell are we paying you for? That's a goddamn lie. He don't understand. He don't know what's going on. That's why he's keeping the goddamn mouth shut. That's about the smartest thing he ever done. Because he don't have no idea. Because he made this statement back 3 years ago. Armageddon start. You seen the Armageddon? But, you know, his Ishmael, if a man says, and it don't come to pass, that means you don't fear him and he ain't speaking for God. Ain't that what Ishmael said? Well, and we got proof. He said 3 years ago, Armageddon started. That was his theme on so-called Savior's Day. Armageddon started. You seen Armageddon? It's going to spill over Europe and why must be war Armageddon? You seen Armageddon? You know, oh no. And now that's why I said back then, I said, you're wrong. It's going to blow up in the Middle East. Now it's blowing up in the whole world. The whole world's on edge. The whole entire world's on edge. He's not saying anything. He's supposed to be the light. He said, people said dark seen a great light. Wait a minute, Farrakhan, the people said in dark and seen a great light. Well, wait a minute. But how are you going to see a great light if you shut out? If you're the light. He said, people said in darkness, it's going to be stuck in the darkness. When people said in darkness, God will keep it dark. You're going to say, no, don't give no light. That's what Farrakhan telling you. Keep it in the dark. What the hell are we paying you for? That's when this time you're supposed to be shining. Tell people what's going on. You ain't doing a goddamn thing. And then you tell me, Ishmael's your spokesman. Well, if you have ventriloquist, you got a dummy, and they tell you to shut up. Ain't the dummy supposed to be shut up too? Because the dummy's saying what you tell him to say. It's all bullshit. So hold on to it. But there's a consequence for ignorance. Oh, I didn't mean to step off that ledge. That was a mistake. I'm only 3 years old. Tell it to Jesus when you get there. But you ask about the turns of splat. I was only 3 years old. I didn't mean to step that ledge. Consequence, nothing about that, all that crap. So you keep on with your bullshit because you can't prove any of it. And there's a consequence for it. Because the shit is hitting the fan now. It says, don't you know you have been told you've been judged? People judge angels. Your people going to judge you. And they'll say, well, and these preachers, Elijah Muhammad said, they're through. They're done. They're already cooked. They don't even know it. They're already cooked, about to be served to dogs. Because they're all demons. They all they ain't telling what's in the script. They're telling you some bullshit. They know you believe that bullshit. Say, hey, why not? If you got to give them some bullshit, tell them what they want to hear. Ear ticklers. They'll put a nice house, nice home, because they ain't doing damn things for you. But everybody wants to be a preacher. The only light there is this light, and resonating. And it's about to break through. When it breaks through, people said God said a great light. But they can't see a great light with Farrakhan, can they? So no, that prophecy is wrong when it comes to him, ain't it? Because he says, God told be quiet. So if you sit in the darkness and you're Farrakhan, then you're still gonna be in the darkness. Or if they cut your goddamn throat and throw you in the oven and roast your ass. We can use some black meat, some dark meat. They're finished. No, they're finished. They don't know it. They said you drop an egg off the Sears Tower or Empire State Building, it's just a matter of time before inevitable happens, right? You drop it. Is it squat? Is it broken? Is there a question? What happened? They're in free fall. His main mosque, called mosque in Chicago, he can't keep that full. They can't put men every other seat, try to make it like it's full, and still the back row is still empty. Nobody would do. Only one sitting in fools, and some of those women up in the front with the white dress on, some of them not even Muslims. In fact, women, I wouldn't call them Muslims either. They paid. Say, see? Yeah. Make you think he got some people. Otherwise, there'll be no one there. A lot of people there are paid to be there. Otherwise, they had to find some kind of other format because they're paid to be there. Because otherwise, because the place is empty now. When I was there on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays had meetings on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesday, Friday was during the week. And that place right there, Elijah Muhammad established that place they have right there, Temple number 2, packed. Every day of the week, packed. And if Elijah came out, people was all up down Stony Island Avenue, all up down the street, all out there. They packed. I did security, and sometimes we had to go outside and make sure everybody was okay outside. Elijah Muhammad came out doing theology time. He did theology time there. I was there. I never met Elijah Muhammad personally. I was in 3 or 4 or 5 feet of him. I was security. My wife at the time, she passed, right? She ran into these dress shops. She knew him personally. Because he was coming to the dress shop, see what's going on. But he knew me, he sent me letters because I was a midnight foreman in Muhammad Street newspaper. That was my 20s. You understand? So the thing is that that's desperate over there. And they're finished. And this war is not going to settle down. It's about to blow. When it blows, that's it. The whole world is at stake. The whole world's nervous. They're talking about, bloody love. So they stay away from that because they can't, because they don't know where it's going to go. And they're nervous and they're blind, so they feel around. Because that should be what they're talking about, right? What's going on? I mean, that go sideways like they think. They're already paying, what, $5 a gallon of gas? What's that? How's the so-called nation? It's not my Farrakhan. How they going? They know that's bad news for them. They haven't prepared for that. They're prepared for that. They don't have anything back up. Let's talk about something else, right? It says the message was prepared away from the message of the covenant. How do you do that? I mean, he didn't just wait for him. He prepared away. How do you prepare away? Okay, let me talk about another subject. I don't know how much I'm going to get into this. I talk about quality and quantity. Everybody has the same amount of quantity of energy. I know you understand that. You understand pressure works, everybody has the same amount. We get energy wave from every 50 years, and I'm going into details, and everybody has the same amount of energy. But the quality is different. See, because Adam was put in charge, because like say, if you got, say everybody get 1,000 use for energy, $1,000 worth of energy every day, right? You can't eat energy. You have to eat food. So say some person got control of the food, but they have control of you, even though you have as much energy as they have, but they have control of the food. So you have to go and do, and that's why we chose Smith Adam, because he would have control of the food. We wouldn't, because our energy had to be used just to maintain ourselves. Like we Lamborghinis, we had to use all the energy to maintain ourselves. They live off like people. They only needed 10% energy to maintain that. They had 9% energy, they could rule. They had energy to rule. We didn't. And by energy to rule, they was able to control, right, the resources. So it says, submit to them if you want to eat. If you want to eat, submit to them. You understand? That's why they would have control of the resources. And then America would sit here, and so America was like feeding the world. That's the quality side of it. So the thing is, Elijah, how was he preparing the way? Because he was trying to break that side, because he was trying to do for self and start building your own business stuff. So therefore, they would have less control over the quality. You have control of your own food. I mean, it'd be limited to a certain, because you're still in America. But even Master Muhammad, he still had to submit to that. He had to eat. As long as he was here, just said submit to it, right? And what they gave us, what they gave us, they gave us shit to eat, was food. We had to eat shit, but it kept us alive. Shit, that's shit. And folks are still eating it. White folks do not eat shit. Do not eat shitless. Show me a white person eat shit, they don't do it. They know what it is. But some of us still do it. Because they still sell at Walmart. They will be selling no matter who's buying it. That's the whole idea. So submit to them, because they had control of the quality of the energy. So Elijah Muhammad was breaking that by still doing stuff, building infrastructure. So when some Mr. Covenant came, right, they would have that quality control over people. It'd be minimum. See? Because right now, all the people with Farrakhan, they still work for the devil. They're still under control of the devil. They come to clap Farrakhan, they got to go and listen to that boss. They got to do what the boss tell them to do. They ain't going to tell that boss they with Farrakhan, or they won't have a job. They're not going dressed up like Muslims because they know they won't have no job unless they're going to pretend they live in Pakistan or someplace. And what Farrakhan was do? They shut all that down. As Farrakhan built any of that stuff up for 40 years, Elijah Muhammad, for 4 years, he built something. What did Farrakhan build for you? Nothing, except himself, his own pocket, his wallet. He's multimillionaire. So is his son, and that's the reason why his son is a pretty cap, so he can make sure control that money. And they haven't got a damn thing for you. They haven't built shit. See? So therefore, the devil still have quality control of you. Because you got to go work on their jobs. You got to do what they want you to do. Like I said, when Elijah left, I said my own business that minimized their quality control over me. My own business, because I let them have less control. They still had control, though. I still was here in America. Yes. You understand? But I minimized it until we actually get out of here. Like I said, man, how many had to, he said, he sold, I don't know what he was doing with his money. So anyway, they said he would go door to door and sell drugs. I think it was material from the Middle East, whatever. So I'm not commenting on that because I don't know what his resource was. He was depending on that money and what. So I'm not speaking to that. The point is, he was still here. He still had to eat. He wasn't getting any food for the mother plane. That quality control. Now, quality control has a lot of aspects to it. Because one is like, here you win a person, and your quality, you depend on winning people, right? Your resource, everything's in win. I got a mortgage, all this stuff, right? Okay, so maybe I got a lot, maybe I sell snow, I got a lot of snow. In spring come, that stuff all melts. It's no good. Now, if you know what's coming, then you say, okay, I'm going to transition to spring. But you can't do that if you hold on to the snow. You can't get the second floor, hold on to the first floor. That's the problem our people have, and people I know have that problem. They have that problem. They're afraid, they're fear again. Because understand, if you go from first floor to second floor, you still take your energy with you. The problem is you got first floor energy, quality, but now you don't have that. You had the energy, but you don't have the quality. So now you just got quality, you just got energy. And so you got two options here. You can wait to get second floor and try to change the quality, which is your second floor, or you can start getting control of your quality as you move up, because you're going to have to let go of the first floor, get to the second floor. And people don't understand that. It's the fear. Let me tell you a little story. I never told anybody that. I thought about it today, right? I was in Vietnam. I was there 2 times, right? Second time I was there. It's not, hey man, I was reading the Bible. I said, I got to Malachi. And just before that, right? Like I was getting militant. I was always militant anyway. I didn't know anything about Muslims or slavery. I was reading the books. So I realized what they had done to us. I was a sergeant, right? And I said, wait a minute, hold it. I said, I'm in the wrong place. I shouldn't be here. I looked at my name. I said, damn, that's the name they gave us? I'm thinking 19, 20 years old at the time, right? Sergeant, right? So I changed my name. Because you have to wear a name tag on your uniform, right? I went down to outside the guard, and I had Mama sign or Pop sign somebody make me a tag with a name I made up. I come back on post, and when the officer saw it, they said, hey, what's that? I said, that's my name. No, it ain't your name. I said, yes, it ain't your name. He gave me an order, said, you better change that immediately, or you're going to be court-martialed. He told me. Not. That's what he told me. I refused. I didn't say go in court, but I just refused. So the next day, they come and grab me, threw me in a stockade, right? Put me on right, court-martial me. I still refused. Took my rank away, right? As I ended up in Vietnam twice, right? Excuse me, I'm sitting wrong. I'm confused with something else. Took that with everything, right? And by that time that I found, I started thinking about the Elijah thing. So they came together about the same time, right? And so I didn't care. So once they let me on stockade, right? I would look for Elijah. That's the story. How many people do that? Took my rank. I didn't care. I wasn't going to wear that name they gave me. And Elijah didn't have to tell me that. My nature told me that. I've been in the military, been successful in the military, been there 4 years. I've been the second time Vietnam, sergeant. Right? Went in there because I wanted to get my college education for free. All that going for me. They had a special program where you can buy a Porsche. If you're in Vietnam, I don't know how it was, but if you put so much money in, you get a Porsche. I guess it was some kind of special thing the government was doing. I was coming home with a brand new Porsche. College paid for. I'm in my early 20s, 21, 20. I think I've been 19, 20. I think I was 20 time. I was coming back new of heart, boy. I was going to be the man. Once I found the truth, That's one thing about me. Now, I don't know about you. I don't compromise truth. So I said, oh, maybe I should change it later. No, I changed it immediately. So I figured realized that was wrong. I changed it immediately. I didn't care what the consequences was. If I said, if I'm going to suffer consequence for doing the right thing, then there's no hope for me in my life. I never told anybody that story. I don't think I have. And I went for Elijah. I knew the consequence. They didn't capture me. I didn't change my name. That, when I looked for, I didn't hide who I was. That's what I mean. Elijah, and I think they caught me, whatever. I wanted to be with Elijah. I stayed with Elijah till he left in 75. I was a foreman in Palm City newspaper. About a year before he left, in the midnight. And during that time, that's when Carter came president. And what he did was he gave amnesty to everybody who walked through, who had refused to go into Vietnam, whatever. Right? And so that included me, though it was a different situation, but he got amnesty to anybody that got in trouble about being, right? So it included me somehow, anyway, it did. So I went down, I think Fort Benning, I think, somewhere down there. Went down there and told them, here I am. Right? And then they gave me all my benefits. I didn't get the Porsche. All my benefits, told me I had to do a year community service. That was a penalty. I said, well, I'm working for a nonprofit organization. I told them, hey, I said, I'm working for Palm City newspaper. The guy that was supposed to be representing me, he kind of told me, trying to hit me, trying to be quiet. I said, well, I'm working. I said, that's a nonprofit organization. I guess it was, I didn't. Anyway, he said, okay, we're just about to check it out. So I'm there, and one day, some colonel or something shows up. He was scared to go in the building. He looked around the door and said, yeah, it looks like a monster. It looked like a nonprofit organization to me. That was it. Like, nothing ever happened. I found my benefits and everything else. That's it. When I was doing my business, I also was doing housing. The reason I was able to buy and sell houses because they had the housing program. Took advantage of that. So I'm telling you, that's me. And I've never suffered from doing the right thing, no matter what the consequence was. I just did. To me, it was the right thing to do. I did it. I didn't give a damn. But like I said, then when I got sick, I was homeless. I didn't go ask anybody to help me. 6 months. Then abandoned buildings and carrying on. Well, I was AV. Well, I think I should say thank you, Jesse Jackson. Go down to Chicago. They have Operation Breadbasket or something. And they have a meal once a day, right? And so I'd walk all the way over there. It was about 2 miles. Sometimes I couldn't eat. They had pork, so I couldn't eat it. And that's where I ate that period of time. So I guess I thank him for that. What I'm trying to say here, brothers and sisters, is that you don't understand how things work, so you're afraid. Your fear is going to kill you. And this bullshit that he said today, ain't there because of fear or ignorance or whatever. It's total bullshit. Everything he said, nothing he said made any sense. That's why they don't do Q&A. That goes point by point. God loves everybody. No, we don't. It says right there, I love Jacob and hate Esau. Unconditional love. Unconditional love means no matter what you do. Unconditional means unconditional. But they say anything over there because they know their audience. Plus, in fact, he's stupid too. Farrakhan can feed him anything. He knows Farrakhan can come up here and tell him. You don't have to tell him it's honey. Tell him it's pure shit. Well, it's my shit. You better eat it. Ishmael would do it. Because he's weak. He's stupid. And Farrakhan is stupid too. He's just not as stupid as they are. Because the thing is, they told him, If he don't do what they tell him to do, they're going to charge him with Malcolm's murder. It's a long story, brothers. You can check it out for yourself. You go look into it and say, so why does that happen? The people that's put, now, I don't know if they're still alive or not, I haven't done research, but they isolate those people like they never isolated anybody before. They isolate them in solitary confinement. They put them in like, what they call like mobile homes, a little small mobile home, out in the prison yard, out away from everybody else. Total, no contact with anybody, not even the guards. The guards slip food under their door, whatever. And they said they went on for years. They had no contact with anybody. They want anybody, because they didn't nobody hear what they had to say. And those people were desperate to get out of there, to talk to somebody, to be with anybody. They don't visit nothing. They said what was happening with that. I said, why that count? Why go that extreme? Why just put solitary confinement? Because solitary confinement, man, other people, the other people in solitary confinement, they can say things. Other people do anything to get out of that. So they told Farrakhan, if you don't go along and play ball, we'll have them testify that you the one that directed them to kill Malcolm. Case closed. He knows damn well he's going to be convicted. Ain't no doubt about it. And if they go to jail, and all those niggas up there loved Malcolm, before he could change his diaper, right? He'd be Louis Farrakhan with a little dressing on. He knows it. He's a coward. He's always been a coward. He wouldn't fight for you. He's going to fight. That's bullshit. You know, they punk him so fast. They wouldn't kill him. They'd punk him. They wouldn't hurt him. So they killed him. They make a martyr out of him. They punk him so fast. And he wouldn't like it. Yeah. I got an upgrade now. I'm smart. I used to be. I'm wiser now. I got me a boyfriend. Now he always tell me his LGQ community, family and shit. Come on. So those people with him, they have nothing to say. Judgment is soon. The judgment is going on right now, but you don't understand it. The plagues are going on right now, but you don't understand it. The plagues are going on right now. The plague of flies is happening right before your eyes, but you don't recognize what it is. The COVID plague, that happened right on time. 1619, 2019, the plague happened right on time. Right on time. They killed the first boy, I mean elderly. That wasn't that who was killed. Firstborn. The elderly. Sit here. Oh, no, this is for me. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna close out the McDonald's, but they're desperate over there. The business is going. The whole world's on edge right now because what happened here. In fact, even if peace broke out, which it will not, you understand what's driving this thing. If you have understand injury, you know it won't. Peace won't break out. But even if it did, they always said the damage is already done. They said the economy is already taking a big hit, and the replication shockwave is on the way here. Gas is already $5, $6, I think what $7 a gallon in California. They're gonna be famines. All the thing I tell you, and all the thing I'm telling you about now, about this war, you can go out there on my page, and you see I've been talking about this for years. and with details. So who's going to be fighting, how it's going to happen, what the result is. Everything I told you is happening. Look at this here. Now see, you talk about this love stuff, right? Unconditional. Look at this. If thy enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. This was it. Jesus claimed he was saying, right? Oh, that's love. Just love no matter what. What's the next verse? You ain't doing it because you love him. You do it because you want to tear his ass up. You just don't want it directly because you don't want him to know you're doing it. Like, you know, you hit man because you want to kill somebody. You don't want them to know that you did it. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon the heads, and Lord shall reward thee. So whatever it takes from you, you're gonna get back. I have to make sure you ain't losing anything for what they're doing to you, but he's gonna punish them. So where's the love in that? Love. See, you ain't telling you to do it out of love. Do it out of destruction, destroy them. You doing that, the person you doing that is destroy them. What about that verse, Ishmael? See, they tell you, oh, just love them. Well, that Christianity didn't start 500 years ago. Tell me I'm wrong. Christianity is 500 years old, just like I said in the lessons. 500 years old because there wasn't any Christianity before 500 years ago because all Europeans were Catholics. Catholics, and say it again, Catholics. They're connected to the Catholic Church. Britain, Magog broke away about 500 years ago and they started the Protestant movement. They protest against the church. That's where Protestant comes from. Now that come out of Christianity and Jesus. The name Jesus didn't exist on the planet before 500 years ago. Put me wrong. It did not exist. The name was Joshua. All this is planned because they didn't want you to look. They enslaved us, start slaving us 500 years ago. They knew what Scripture says. They knew who we were. It says they knew who we were because it said they told Adam all our names. But Adam said, hell, I ain't gonna give my power back up to them when they raised. So they start planning against us. So we'll deal shrewdly with them in a way that they thought we wouldn't figure out. If they had done shrewdly, that means it wouldn't been never figured out. When you do something shrewdly, that means nobody had figured out. So it don't mean that they did it shrewdly. It means that was their plan to do it shrewdly. We got to get stuff right. See, that's what happened. So then he says, okay, Christianity, forgiveness, all this bullshit. They took the name, and the name Jesus didn't exist. The name Joshua, but Joshua put you in Exodus. Exodus talk about after 40 years of what they're doing to us. This Joshua come and raise. See, they start planning back there. But you don't know anything about Joshua. So but the name didn't show me wrong. That name did not exist in the Old Testament anywhere. Look at the Old Testament, not there. So why would that name be in the Old Testament? Said Jesus supposed to wrote the Testament, right? He's supposed to be the Son of God. So why is he not in the Old Testament? Nowhere. The name Jesus not anywhere. It's not in the New Testament either. They put it in the New Testament, but they broke against the Catholic Church. Look at the Catholic Bible and stuff. It's not there. They broke against the Catholic Church and went out there and translated their own Bible from Greek. Jesus. Zeus is the god of the Greeks. G stands for earth. It's a prefix, a Greek prefix. Jesus. They made it up. Even Google tells you that. So you guys believe something don't even exist. All this happened 5 years ago. Plan to capture us. Jackson by a devout child who was born. When they were born today, all this to make sure we would never come back to power again. They took power from us 500 years ago. They made sure we'd never come to power again. Remember, they took power from us 500 years ago. Remember, we was the Moors. The Moors in Northwest Africa. They was ruling Spain and upper Italy. Most of us was Moors, come from that part of Muslims. They showed even that, was that Armageddon or whatever, Armistead or whatever? They showed all the cities was covered. It was Muslims 500 years ago. They took power from us 500 years ago and was betrayed by the Arabs. Now they got all control of those countries. Egypt, Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, they got control of those. They betrayed us. That's like I said, they betrayed Joseph. Because Joseph told, we're going to rule you too when we rise up. He said, all right, and you're going to rule us. And we're going to put down Adam and rise up. They're the jinn. They said they wasn't going to take, they betrayed us. They said they weren't going to submit to Adam either. They weren't going to submit to us. They weren't going to submit to Adam either. So they betrayed us, and they will not submit to Adam. They will not accept they won't accept any of Adam's ideas. Democracy, capitalism, none of that stuff. The only nation on the planet rejects all of it. They're the jinn. And jinn says they're going, right? And they haven't had a victory in 5 years. Since Adam took charge. Adam, Gog and Magog, Adam and Eve. Eve represents, symbolically represents America. It was a virgin country. Who is giving birth to us, the real Messiah. Well, it's so beautiful when you understand it, right? And her husband, Britain. Magog means the mother of Gog. America came out of Britain. It said 500 years ago, after 1,000 years, they would come out and control the whole planet. After 1,000 years, right? Okay, didn't have 1,000 years dark ages? Who kept them under control? Abraham's resurrected, they said a resurrected group, people. So Abraham's resurrected group under Prophet Muhammad kept them bowed down for 1,000 years. They broke out 5 years ago and come across the whole planet, Gog and Magog. This stuff is easy, simple. Easy, simple. Let me check one more thing out, brother. I'm going to close out in a minute. They says, Jen says, no, you ain't going to rule us. So they betrayed us. Like I said, they traced into slavery. That's what the story says. They've been enslaved by false Israel, brass and iron, and God and Magog. Both of them plan to make sure we never come back to power again. Jen and Gog and Magog, false Israel. We never come back to power again. 5 years ago. So how come they occupy all our countries? Egypt is not Arabia. Morocco is not Arabia. Tunisia is not Arabia. That's where we came out, Northwest Africa. So how come they got those countries now? Well, we got nothing. But they betrayed, took our countries. And they're the ones opened the door to Europeans to come in and get us because Europeans know nothing about Africa. 5 years ago. And then 5 years ago, okay, Christianity pops up 5 years ago. Capitalism didn't know anything about capitalism 5 years ago either. Democracy also. Democracy was a form of democracy, was practiced by the Greeks, but not what they have. All these things came up. All was part of a plan, this so-called shrewd plan to keep us down under control and to bring us over here, right, to separate us from our family so they could watch us to make sure we never came back to power again. That was the whole idea. And if we came back to power, there are all kinds of alternatives to make sure that if we came back to power, there were all kinds of obstructions, like creating a hybrid people by raping our women and creating these demons, half devil, half man. They're Caucasian black folks. So it says enemies sowed their seed amongst the chaff. It's the wheat, rather. Wait, hold it. Do you need a roadmap? Who sows the seed? Males do. Females don't sow seeds. They're talking about people there. That means some males sow their seed amongst the enemies. We're the enemies, so I mean us. They sow their seed amongst our who? How they sow it? By raping our women. If there was enemies, they had to rape our women to do it, right? I mean, why do you need this? You need a roadmap? You need a calculator? It says, somebody so evil sowed their seed amongst the wheat. So they sowed, that means they had, and there was enemies, they had to rape our women. And so now they grew up together. And so you can't recognize because they look like the wheat. But they was causing all kinds of confusion and everything else. And it says, Elijah was told, you can't separate him. He says, Son of Man will do it. They caused all kinds of confusion. So it said, that's why let's say it's 34 original people. Okay, it's about 34 million, that's me 17 million. It's about 34 million blacks in America right now. It wasn't 17 million when Matt Farrakhan was here. He's talking about now. Half of the nation is real original people, and half of it is demons, but they're all mixed up. So and they setting a bad example for us. Because we think we follow them, they're going to be successful in society because they win the people. They just like their back. They want integration. See, they want reparations. They want civil rights. Because they're devils, black-faced devils. But the original people, they want separation. They want no reparation. They want separation. They want to get the hell out of here. Get away from these people. It started back in the 1860s. There's a diversion. The people said, let's get the hell away from these devils. They ran to cities, Canada, any place. Right? And others said, we're going to stay here on sharecropper Massa. Then 50 years later, right? That was the blue-headed blues back then. This is coincidence? Then 50 years later, we got jazz. Now we got jazzy. So we got two things. We got the boss saying, hey, we should be more Eurocentric. Be more act like white people. Be more like them. Then you got Marcus Garvey and Master Muhammad. No, we should start thinking about Africa. Think about original. You see what I'm saying? Two different paths. They want to be more like Master. They want to be turn face to Africa. Eurocentric, Afrocentric. Know it? And then we got jazz. We got jazz now because I think about Africa and stuff. Why is our music is the one that dominates the planet? Because our emotions affect the atmosphere. So if our emotions affect the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is dominated by music, and that means we're the gods. But that's no story. Then 50 years later, right? 1860s, 1960s, that's 100 years, 50 years later, 50, right? 80s, 20. What happened then? Then we got rock, and disco, black and proud. See, get Elijah, I want to separate. See, get with them. Oh, I want to integrate. I want civil rights. We want civil flight. Civil rights, we want civil flight. Get the hell out of here, Elijah. And they grabbed to us a Martin Luther King. And now 50 years on it again. And now the final break is about to take place. But we're going to return home this time, and they're going to stay here and fight for this country. God said he wanted like he's supposed to stay here. And there's going to be a new music. Music of victory. See? For us. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. What happened? Every time he had to have somebody come along and try to frustrate that. So after Elijah's departure, they said Farrakhan and just shut that down. We ain't going nowhere. He called God a liar. After 40 years, said we ain't going nowhere. We ain't building a nation. The devils ain't devils anymore. They're our brothers, right? I'm going to heaven, and Dr. Reverend Frazier, whatever, Bob Frazier, he's going to be in heaven like hell. I don't know heaven that is. He's going to be in hell right along with you. Eating your shit and reading his shit. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. So right now, all eyes on what's happening in the Middle East, because that's what happening is right there. They're fighting for you. That's Master Muhammad. The man is just like Master Muhammad. Original, white skin. There's an army. That battle, it's battle for heaven, battle for you. Close out the man, brothers and sisters. See here? And here's Farrakhan. What do you got to do? See, he's telling you they're ugly. No, don't tell. AI? Okay, I'm going to let him tell you yourself. We got the video in a minute, right? They're ugly. Nappy hair is ugly. Nappy hair is the hair of gods. It's the best hair. If you know anything about DNA, but you ain't interested in science, I got my short here. You Google it. That's the best hair on the planet. Nappy hair is the dominant. Straight hair is recessive. This is dominant, recessive. Recessive means it comes out of dominant. You can bring white out of black, but you can't bring black out of white. You can bring straight hair out of nappy hair, but you can't bring nappy hair out of straight hair. He says that's a natural crown. The original people, the gods, nappy hair, that's a natural crown. They're beautiful. See, the nose, the lips. But he says no. He says, because he got straight hair like his daddy. So he said, no, the devils, they're beautiful. They got no nose, no mouth. He says, we curse like this because we're disobedient. So God cursed us with nappy hair, and big nose, and big lips. The devil don't think that. Why did they call it makeup? Why did they call it makeup? We didn't call it makeup. Our women didn't wear rouge and lipstick on that stuff when they came over here. They didn't straighten their hair. You're in Africa right now. You see Africa with straighten their hair? According to Farrakhan, they be straightening their hair. They're trying to get rid of it. He even says, you go over there, you'll see people with big nose, big lips, because most of that came from mixing it with Caucasians, raping our women. And the other side is, of course, inbreeding. When you inbreed, right, you get all kinds of distorted figures and stuff. And that they used to have called a stud. I think they call it a stud. They take a black person, the male that was strong, and they have all he did was impregnate. They bring black women and impregnate. They'd run in, and they didn't care who it was. Most of that he didn't know. He could be pregnant his sister. He could be pregnant his mother. That's where term MF comes from. Motherfucker, that's where it came from because he impregnated his own mother. He may not even know it was his mother, and she may not even know it was his son. But they separated at birth. You don't know who's who. And so there you got all these distorted figures and stuff. We didn't come here like that. We're beautiful people. But he said we're ugly, and God made us ugly because we ugly inside. So he brought it out. So he brought the ugly inside outside. So now we got nappy hair and big nose and big lips that we hate, and we all over the world trying to change it. That's what he's saying. But over here, see, because he got straight hair too, like his daddy. But see, he smiled at that. He likes that. This Farrakhan. So let's go show them the clothes, brothers and sisters. Again, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. And our women are the most beautiful people on the planet. They're not just most beautiful, they are the definition of beauty. You have to compare things to them to find if it's beautiful or not. Nothing is more beautiful than our women. Nothing is more beautiful than the original black women. Nothing more beautiful than her. Nothing. Not in the universe, this year, or any place else. Let's go to the next number close, brothers and sisters.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature.
Lie, not close to nature, bullshit.
And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair. Because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight. The hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, you know, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks. Because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black, but they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose, but we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight. Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement, yes, sir, of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. Yes, and this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically, because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
Sick ass goddamn liar. All this bullshit. See? That's not what the lesson say. That's not what the promise says. And then he says, well, we got that because otherwise we're sick inside, we're evil. See, he said we're evil by nature. The devils, they're not. He's switching around. We're the evil ones by nature. And so now God may manifest it in our ugliness, and big nose, and big lips, and nappy hair. That's evil. That's what he's saying. They good inside. That's why they look so pretty, because they good inside. We the devils. So you want to translate what he just said? Now look at this here. This is Google. In genetics, you ever heard of genetics? DNA? That's science. Black and dark brown hair colors are the most dominant. Dominant means the best, don't it? When you dominate something, that means you got control of it, the best. The dominant genes, the best genes for hair texture. Now, hair texture, curly hair is genetically dominant. So with curly hair and dark skin, black skin is the most dominant features. The best. That's what the gods had. That's why it can make us, right? It says let's make us like an image of the gods. So now the angels was promoted from straight hair to nappy hair. They had that DNA in there, just had to turn it on. But you couldn't do it. See what I'm saying? Now, I know you don't believe in science. Because he tell you one black blood, one drop of black blood makes you black. It makes you black, don't make you original. Oh, God made us all the womb, really? God gave us the eyes, really? Then you said, well, what happened to Siamese twins? People that got two heads, one body. Was God on crack then? Was he on crack when it happened? The people born retarded. Oh, he was taking a break. God makes all the womb, so he gives all these gifts. Nobody gives you a damn gift. You're born, it's in your DNA. If your DNA if it's in your deep in music, then you like music. If it's in your DNA, nobody gave it to you. If somebody gave it, if somebody tried to teach you music and it ain't your genes, it ain't gonna work. Because it has to be in sync with your DNA. It's part of your DNA. Anybody give you a goddamn thing. Your mother and father gave it to you. Your father gave you life, and your mother took and cultivated that life. He gave you the ingredients, and she baked it. Father gave the ingredients, and mother baked it. You know, God nowhere did any goddamn thing for you. And well, God says, God doesn't change anybody's condition. Let's say change it first, But then he tells you, stupid, you goddamn stupid? Are you a goddamn fool? He just tell you, you ain't gonna change unless you change it. God does not change anyone's condition unless they first change their condition. If you change it, what you need someone else to change it for? Are you goddamn stupid? They're telling you, if you don't change, don't get changed. They talk like that because fools will stumble over themselves trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. God does not change the people's condition until they change their own condition. That means if you don't change, don't get changed. Oh, you're not going to get by saying, I didn't know any better. Consequences, I didn't mean to step on that ledge. Okay, you tell gravity that on your way down. You ain't gonna be able to have no. You ain't gonna have no excuses. You're not gonna be able to excuse your way out of it. Because if you were Farrakhan, unless you're a demon, you have no. You have nothing to say. Because it's easy to just check and see that he's a goddamn lying, no good ass shithole, shit eater, a shit salesman. You can't find any scripture anywhere that backs that shit up. Give $5,000 if you can. So you have no excuse. So when you show up, don't show up. You beat off, don't show up. Go out there and see the devils take me, roast me. And I tell you, I try to avoid this, but I try to give some examples. They're gonna eat your ass. Because you're gonna be separated from your family. Because if you like that, you're not going to be part of the Levites going home. So you can be out there alone or with your family, whatever. They don't get you. Remember, there ain't no electricity. There's no electricity. They say a woman, she would eat a baby raw. She's pregnant. She's about to give birth. She hides the fact that she hides and give it a secret so she can eat the baby so it's born. So she ain't cooking it. Eating it raw. But on top of that, they catch you, right? And they don't have refrigeration and things. So how you think they're going to handle that? They're going to handle it. Okay, well, they cut your leg off. Take some heat, seal so you don't bleed to death. Oh, that's painful, ain't it? Until it's time to eat again, so you don't spoil. That's the kind of stuff you're going to see going on. So how you think? You think that's a grievous chastisement? So it'll take about a week or 2 weeks before they finally cut an organ that you can't live anymore? Cut your feet off, maybe today, maybe cut your hands off tomorrow, maybe cut a leg off the next day, right? You're still alive now, but your food. Maybe they able to cook you, maybe not. Maybe got some wood, maybe they cook you, maybe not, maybe you raw. So you watching it, eating your roasting your leg, eat it, roasting your foot, or eating it raw, and you still alive. You know, tomorrow they come to get your arm. Yeah. You're gonna see worse than that. So you gotta think these things through. See? But you don't care about mathematics. That's right there. He said that's bad because he got straight hair. So he's knocking out beautiful women. Yeah, one last thing before I go, brothers and sisters. They claims he loves so much a black women defend him. Now, somebody beat your mama, rape your mama, put stuff in your mama's mouth that shouldn't be there. All that stuff there they should did for a year. Would you be pleading their cause? I don't want nothing to happen to them. I don't want to put them in jail. Please get mercy. Would you be doing that? I wouldn't have to strain you for tearing the manure asshole. What would your reaction be? What would your reaction be? So why is that Farrakhan pleading for his wife? Well, I don't want something happen to him. I don't want something happen to America. And they did all this to our women for 400 years, raped them, put shit in their mouth, burn them up, forcing them to carry their children. All the shit they did that you can't imagine. And you would say, oh, please forgive. Really? Fuck you. You're through, Farrakhan. Your days are numbered. They ain't numbered anymore. They're over. Because this is going soon. It says, the accusers of our brethren be cast down. This last battle about to take place. Quiet. Oh boy, what bullshit. What bullshit, boy. That's DNA. And I know these two people. I think I know them. I think I met them before. And they ain't frying their hair. And they ain't trying to make themselves white either. They love their hair like that. And I ain't never seen Nigerians. They have nice features. And I ain't never seen them trying to straighten the hair, none of that stuff. Even braid, I don't see none of that stuff. I don't see them paying in Africa. That's the Arab stuff. Trying to be white and all that stuff. You go to Africa, you don't see all that people trying to change their, getting rid of their hair and stuff, that kind of stuff. Like Farrakhan saying. You don't see all the big nose and all that kind of stuff. You see it. He even admit that they got nice features. That's because inbreeding and stuff. Been over here with these devils. Okay, I'm going to close out, brothers and sisters. And I see, well, here we go. It's our enemies. They got us, our energy. They use our identity saying, oh, you got to love us because we Abraham's seed. You need to bless Israel, bless the curse of we. They lying, they saw identity. They got our land. It tells you our land. It tells you right there clearly between the river Euphrates and the river Egypt. That's Arabia. Go look at the map. They take advantage of our ingenuity. I'm not going to speak to that. I was speaking in the previous presentation. And he got the nation. He's ripping off like it says in Malachi. He's robbing the nation. He ain't produced a goddamn thing. He's on an economic program. He's enriched himself. He's a multimillionaire, and where Islam has nothing. See, they're all living off of our energy, which we're going to take back. That's when Messenger come. That's when Joshua come. They break off these chains. Start kicking ass, taking all this back. All belongs to us. Make it own the creative planners, find the universe. So we just got the worst winter. 6,000 years, 6,000 years, 6,000. That's 24,000 years. How long it takes Earth to be the full axis? That's why history. It's 4 seasons. We come out of the worst winter ever. Now we're going to spring. Can spring survive the winter? That's why I'm a spring person. We're some person. Hey, some people like spring. That's why he's a May God. He's half winter, half winter, half winter, half summer. He's a transition between the summer and the winter. Like I say, Muhammad, they would rule for 6,000 years, and then they'd be turned back over to Shabbat. That's summer people. But they would rule, and we had no problem with that. We had a problem with spring. I would rule for 6,000 years to winter. Farrakhan's winter prayer. I want to stay. I like it here. That's why Master Muhammad is half and half summer and half winter, because he's transition. And now you got a battle between the winter and spring. Now the winter's dissolving. What's the winter? Capitalism, money, all that stuff. That's winter stuff. It's all melting. That's why they're so desperate to kind of hold it back. But winter cannot survive against the spring. It's a losing battle. But they're doing everything they can. Right? And when everything else fails, they're going to attack the spring and summer people. They think that's the last gas. Got to hold on to the winter. That's what Farrakhan was sent in to neutralize everything Elijah Muhammad done. That's what he's done. He's neutralized everything. We ain't going nowhere. Devil ain't devils no more. No economics. Tell him I'm lying, Farrakhan. Final battle. One heaven. Final battle. It's taking about to blow. That's his final battle's coming up. Our sisters are going to burn up, America right behind it. The worst is fast approaching. Worst is yet to come. Man's about to explode. That's it, brothers and sisters. They're talking about a peace plan. There'll be no peace plan. Every time you do it anyway, it's a sneak attack, right? It's about to blow, brothers and sisters. If it does, your life will change immediately. Shut the lights out. What fuels the light? Electricity fuels lights, right? What fuels electricity? Oil. You're going to put the whole world in darkness. Bam! But you're going to shut down, Iran's going to shut down all that oil, cut off. We'll put the whole world in darkness. So people will sit in darkness, a great light. That's the light right there. But Master Muhammad, he's going to be lightning in the east. But it has two sides, the originator and the endpoint. Endpoint is going to be the master student over here. That's my son well pleased. That's right. Each of us both going to be manifest at the same time. It's the only light they're going to be. The lightning. Everybody will be in darkness. And only one going to accept. Only one that light's going to accept is Levites. If they open their eyes and want it.
Oh, and I keep telling people this, watch out. When we collapse, we're going to collapse with a loud, loud bang, and people's lives are going to be ruined. It's not going to just be $8 a gallon at the pump. It's going to be you can't afford anything. You can't even afford to eat. You can't afford to have a roof over your head. You certainly can't afford all those things you've been thinking about, like a college education for your children and so forth. That's where we're headed. And we're doing it to ourselves. There's
The brother says he's almost in tears. It's all over for them. They're going to fight to the end. You can't blame for that. That's where we are. Only people, that's the Arabs. The Arabians, the Sunni Arabs, they're the jinn. They're about to be overthrown, cast down. And Michael's angels, Master Muhammad, his angels, the Shia, primarily in Iran, and resurrected Syria. They have total control of the Middle East. They're going to control that oil and shut the whole world in darkness. It's about to happen. I'll move on, bro. So assalamu alaikum. Good question. Let's do it.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides. Yes, sir, brother minister. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's real, brother minister. That's real. When we was alive, we set up schools.
Right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets. We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, firing our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass. In a nice car, in a nice home. I got all of that too. I ain't robbed nobody.
That's right.
I love you. I love you because God loves you and wants to free you from the grip of Satan, that we may build a righteous world. And Father Plaga will be in that righteous world. You can believe it. He's a true servant of Jesus the Christ. Thank you for listening.
Beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest practices in all the religions is prayer. The form and style of prayer varies from faith to faith, but prayer is universal. There is no religious community that does not pray. No prophet of God that did not pray. Abraham prayed. Noah prayed. Moses prayed. David prayed. Joseph prayed. Jesus prayed. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prayed. Master Fard Muhammad prays.
So long till they don't know the birth record. So they just say from remotest antiquity, this is the house that God used to manifest his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and power in and through. Where is he now? Wherever he want to be. I'm not going to say I know where he is, but I'm glad his power is everywhere. I think I know where he is. I don't want to say because I could be wrong, but he's wherever he wishes to be. Are we to pray and worship Master Farad Muhammad? You don't worship the flesh of any man because the flesh is going to die. But in that flesh is a wisdom and a power superior to any human being on the earth. So when we look to Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we look to him. And when he ain't no longer here, the power is going to be here. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he would live a minimum of 400 years, but 400 years ain't no time. He'll be gone. But before he goes, the foundation of what he lays will never be erased from the planet. That's a God. He prays. He prays. He don't pray to himself. You don't say, surely I have turned myself to me. Who does he pray to? He prays in remembrance of him who originated that which he came in. He came in this body. You can't ignore him who originated this. Anyway, it's deep. It's a big subject. I want to say to my Muslim brothers, when I was in Mecca, I was there for 3 days. I was there for 3 days. And in the 3 days that I was there, wrangling with the scholars, we talked about this. And when I finished explaining, the heaviest scholars there didn't bother to argue. They had to go away and study it. And what we don't realize is God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And what you're doing, you are following those that God wants to put you over. The Arab is a good person, basically. They've done a wonderful job in keeping the book of God pure. And we are grateful to them for so doing. But they messed up. It's your turn now. And God will see how you act. But you're not to follow Arabs. You're to lead them. And you can't lead them following them. See, they like to see you imitating them. Just like white Christians want to see black Christians imitating them. We're not to follow white people today. They had their day of rule, and their day of rule is up. That's all. God is going to replace them with a new ruler. And whether you like it or not, the new ruler is black. He have hair like lamb's wool, and he has feet like burnished brass. And if y'all can't take a black leader, then you might as well get off the planet.
Although the Nation of Islam, does not presently advocate violence by its members, the group does preach hatred of the white race and racial separatism. The membership of the Nation of Islam is organized and poses a real racial threat. The Nation of Islam is responsible for the largest black nationalist newspaper, which has been used by other black extremists. The Nation of Islam appears to be the personal fiefdom of Elijah Muhammad. When he dies, a power struggle can be expected and the Nation of Islam could change direction. We should be prepared for this eventuality. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred and separate nationhood aspects. In this connection, Chicago should consider what counterintelligence action might be needed now or at the time of Elijah Muhammad's death to bring about such a change in Nation of Islam philosophy. Important considerations should include the identity, strengths, and weaknesses of any contenders for Nation of Islam leadership. What are the positions of our bureau deletion informants in regard to leadership? How could potential leaders be turned or neutralized? The alternative to changing the philosophy of the Nation of Islam is the destruction of the organization. This might be accomplished through generating factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership or through legal action in probate court on his death. Chicago should consider the question of how to generate the factionalism necessary to destroy the Nation of Islam by splitting into several groups, bureau deletion. Do you think that the FBI just folded and walked away? Read this document carefully. Did not the FBI accomplish each of their goals? Did not Farrakhan deliver everything the FBI wanted? We should plan to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation. Sunniism, Scientology. Deleting the race hatred. Don't call devils anymore. Deleting the separate nationhood aspects. We ain't going nowhere. No existing economic program. The reason why these facts are ignored is because those that surround him are demons, fools, idolaters and FBI agent handlers who make sure he stays on track.
hurtful. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing cry to return to their native land and people. You here today cry to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You and I turn your face from your own native land, turning it back towards our own prison house, enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel? Acting sick. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their arms 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that. We want an equal education so that you will look better. But separate schools up to 16 for the boys and 18 for girls, on the condition that the girls be sent to women's colleges and universities. We want all of our black children educated, taught, and trained by their own teachers. Under such schooling system, we believe we will make a definition of our people. The United States government should provide free for all of us the necessary books and equipment for schools and colleges. We believe that is nothing but right and justice that they should build schools and colleges and universities and everything necessary to equip them for the teachings and trainings that we so miserably need and desire. There must teachers shall be left free to teach them and train our people in the way of righteousness and the way of peace and self-respect. We believe that intermarriage race mixing should be prohibited between the two races. We want the religion of Islam for our people, and we want it taught to our people without injuries or suppression. These are some of the things that we believers in Islam, his true religion of entire submission. We are called Muslims of entire submission. We are called Muslims. We who have submitted ourselves to do the will of Almighty God. We are the people that want nothing other than righteousness. And we are the people that want to leave America for our own self-income. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
And the messenger listened, his jaws tightened, and then he looked and he said, yes, he's getting the fame. so that when he turns hypocrite on me, the whole world will see him. I'm telling you what he said. He died at the table. I mean, it was like he had taken a spark and drove it right through my heart. I couldn't understand why he said it. I didn't know why he would say something like that to me. I was faithful to him in my own way, I thought. I was obedient to him in my own way, I thought. Why would he say that to me? It is because he knew tomorrow better than I knew yesterday. And I lived through yesterday and don't know what tomorrow is, but that man saw tomorrow. He was the most perfect guy that ever could come to a people, brother and sister. But we blew it, man, because we so hateful of our black selves that we didn't believe that God would dare take a black man and not only make him a messenger, but more than a messenger, deposit in the man himself and make a God out of him for you and me. Now listen, brother, I'm not playing here. That man Elijah Muhammad is the most profound individual you will ever meet. I don't give a doggone if you live to be a million. And those of us that walk with him in faithlessness, walk with him in doubt and in suspicion of his divinity, know it better now than we ever knew it while he was among us. We know it now. Look, and I say this with deep humility, man, it pains me to open myself up and see a hypocrite laying inside. But look, how else can a man be healed unless he's opened up to the light and the thing that is in him that is not pleasing to God be removed? You understand? Now here's the messenger looking at me, and because Malcolm told me that the messenger was jealous, and members of the messenger's family had dropped it out that the messenger was jealous, I began to entertain the thought because I couldn't see the future. Now listen, I fought it off, but it was there. Hear this now, beloved. One day in New York, 70,000 people came out to hear the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is the largest gathering of black people, really, I think, in the history of our sojourn in America, to listen to a black man teach wisdom. And this ain't no play. I was so overjoyed, I went to the messenger, and I said to him, the apostle, there were 70,000 people. And back in, again, 3 months later, we did it again, and 40,000 came out on a Sunday afternoon to hear a lecture in Randall's Island. And you know, when I was so exultant, you may use the word cocky, you may use the word vain, self-centered, whatever you want to say. When God gives you success, you better learn how to handle it, or that thing will destroy you. And I didn't know how to handle what God was bringing to me. Then being very frank and honest. And this is not negative, but it's so good to understand how merciful God is. He brings you up and show you the power that can come to you, but he knows you can't handle it. He'll drop you right back down and then bring you up in humility so that whatever he gives you, you'll be able to handle it well. Now look, beloved, when I was telling the messenger about this 7.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world?
And
And on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement. And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
I gotta do this. Can you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flager as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family. Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, brother.
(1713). On the ship Henrietta Marie, chained Africans crossed the Atlantic with no room to stand. Many died before land appeared. Their bodies were thrown into the ocean behind the ship. The ocean saw. 1713. 1713. On the ship Henrietta Marie.
$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.